Hey guys, welcome back. It's Lucid, and I'm joined once again by Sackening.
Hello, everybody.
And we got a new turn and a new episode for you guys. Sackening, where did we leave off last time?
So we had basically finished expansion. We're kind of there's going to be a big battle here against the weird province in our cap circle with an Anunnaki Titan chassis. But we've basically negotiated borders with our western neighbor, and we have full borders to our north and our east and our south. So yeah, expansion's done. We're kind of backfilling and we're pinging thrones.
Yep.
And kind of moving on to that phase of the game.
And some of these, not this one, let's do this one first. This is going to be an exciting one. Because we're bringing all the boys.
Yeah.
And there's...
And I guess we did not, in fact, we were wondering at the end of the last episode if this was the incorrect script and if we had modified it to do Power of the Reborn King, but apparently not, because I don't see any blood slaves.
Oh, yeah. Huh.
So we're just blessing and that's it.
Yeah, I guess we're just bringing the other guys for leadership then.
Yeah.
So,
2 Anunnakis.
Right. This one you can see looks a little different than normal.
Oh, right.
This is because this is the chosen pretender god for the Duck Nation. Yeah. And they've got the redundant vine shield here and a bunch of gems. So we'll see what they cast. Our battle plan is very simple. Just chop them to pieces.
Yeah, although we were afraid the only thing that could screw us over here is if the southern Anunnaki casts a bunch of big arrows.
Yeah.
So we have some guys. There's like 3 squads of 2 kind of in the back.
Yeah.
And they're on hold and attack flyers, I
right.
think. So that they can chop up any big air elementals if they get summoned.
Yep.
I don't think any do get summoned, but that's...
Yeah. They might do some baby ones or something. So they're casting... There's a big earth elemental. She's doing swarm. She prefers swarm over air elemental. And then wind guide, even though they have no archers.
Just a lot of swarm. One very brave Anunnaki decides to go punch things.
And meanwhile, these guys are fighting insects. Not terribly effectively, I'll point out. And then they're getting trampled. These 2 are almost certainly going to die. But it's about time to... Let's see how this Anunnaki does in melee. First round, he takes about half of his health and damage.
Actually, I think that was the Heavenly Fire.
Oh, was it?
I'm not sure that was... Yeah.
Oh, big screaming hit for 46.
Very nice.
Another hit for 42. Our 2 guys at the front have died. And now it's just a bunch of bugs. And then this Anunnaki pieces out. So, we lost basically only the 2 guys who got away from the pack. Everybody else lived. And then we lost some long dead. And we got the Summer Sword, which actually is kind of interesting. It's...
Gives a supply, right?
Right, that's the main purpose. You can also, if you put it on like a normal commander or something, you can have them on advance and cast, and they'll cast Tangle Vines.
Right.
Which I think that's the spell. Take a look at it. Yeah, Tangle Vines.
Yeah.
So, and Tangle Vines isn't horrible. It could matter. I don't know who we would put it on, because like, the other thing we didn't mention last time is we started recruiting a head Chirurgeon, and when we recruit a head Chirurgeon, you can't also get a full roster of Garms because it uses too many resources. So
yes, that's so. This turn we only had like 2 or 3
right.
New Garms.
It looks like we actually didn't make them. I guess we were a little strapped for cash, because you can see we're pretty goddamn poor. We're the biggest. We're probably one of the better people coming out of expansion. And this is like a phenomenal expansion, but I've honestly can't remember the last time I've been this poor after expansion. Like,
yeah, it's the population is so bad.
It's really bad.
It's really bad.
I mean, this would be how much money you have after a pretty lousy early age expansion.
Mm-hmm.
Now, some of that is our scales are obviously not great, but they're not horrible. You know, like, we didn't tank temperature very much because we're Hinnom. which I think is a Heat 2 preference, right?
Yeah, so we're like Heat.
Or Heat 3. We didn't knock Turmoil all the way down. We only knocked Sloth. And we have Growth. Like, we shouldn't have... they're not that bad of income scales.
Yeah, it's not really the scales that are trashed. It's just
Yeah.
bad land. Yeah. So...
Let's take a look at this throne, too. Yeah.
Also, yeah.
So this throne, we've got some Death Mages.
Yeah, so that's actually potentially... like, because we're fighting with Garms, they could get surrounded by a ton of small things, right? So a ton of Skellis spam is certainly not ideal. But
It's also not a problem exactly. It's more like you just have to respect it.
Yeah, exactly. We gotta bring enough.
Yeah. As long as we can kill the Long Dead significantly faster than they're getting made, it's not going to matter much.
Yeah.
But this is not the kind of thing where we're going to send like 15 Garms in and expect it to go well.
Right.
You need like 30, and then it's probably not a problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're taking this as we've negotiated. We're pinging this throne. And we can see that our southern neighbors did indeed expand over here.
Mm-hmm.
And
it looks like we're taking the forest also, right?
Yeah, we're taking this forest because we can move there from here because we're very fast. We have forest survival. We totally planned our bless to have, our nations that we picked 2 units. We totally did not forget to pick a commander, and we totally picked this guy as the commander because he would be good at leading Churgens, because they both are high map move, 16 with forest survival. Yep. So they can jet between these 2 forests, no problem.
Now, this might look like overkill for a bunch of Indies in the forest, and it is, but that's because this army is eventually going to go take that throne, so...
I don't think we take it this next turn, do we?
No.
Because, I think this needs more... Yeah, we would need almost 60% more. I think we need 30 dudes minimum. Ideally, we go with like 40. Okay, we're pinging this throne. Also noteworthy is these guys have taken this province here, which had, if I recall, 80 barbs in it before. And judging by what is left, I think this was an extremely brutal battle. Now, if there's Van Heers, we won't see them because they're glamored. However, neither Van Heers nor Centaur are going to be amazing against 80 barbs. Because they're going to get hit, they go berserk, and then they die. Enough Centaurs can lance charge the barbs, or just kill enough of them quickly enough to rout them, but I don't know. It looks like what has happened, though, is they had just the closest battle. And because these guys go berserk, they barely won. That's my guess.
Yeah, it's rough. To fight, the reason why we could fight barbarians well enough is that our guys just have like 50 hit points.
And they repel.
Yes.
We actually do kind of okay against barbs. It's actually like the things we can't repel, like those goddamn lizards that and militia even that cause us more trouble.
Yeah. But the problem is Van Heers, for all their eliteness, still only have, I guess his are larger, but they still only have so many hit points.
Yeah, one hit and they're basically out.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, so we've talked about what we're doing this turn. Let's go to the next one. Turn 12.
The Chief Surgeon that we've recruited, the reason we're getting him now is so that we can have a commander who can have our guys in a line, because for these throne battles that we're hoping to take, that'll be really important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And unfortunately, he was a fire random. These are kind of the worst ones. Mm-hmm. Don't tell him I told you, but they're pretty bad. Oh, he's going up here. We're going to hit this throne next. We ping this throne.
Yeah, because we pinged in. I think it's a pretty easy one. This guy does nothing.
This guy can do a few, like 2 big fire elementals, maybe 3. This guy can do a little bit of skelly spam.
Yeah.
Little swarm.
Mages are not super scary, and it's like Lion Tribe.
Right. Yeah, this one, we'll be able to take this with this, I think. But it'll be a little close. Like, this is not overkill for it. This is, like, barely just enough. Oh, yeah, this is where we got diseased. We took this pretty clean, but one of our guys got hit. And they're diseased now.
Right.
I've got the Jedi idea that we're going to bring... We would normally only need 3 slaves to wire these guys into a Sabbath. But I'm like, what we're going to do, we're going to bring 4, and then we're going to cast next turn a little-known spell, Blood Heal. And that will give us a bit more mileage out of this dude before he eventually dies from a disease.
Yep. That's pretty cool.
Kind of weird little optimization. We lose a church in here. These guys are now reanimating. Got attacked by werewolves. We got a water gem and more unrest. So, yeah. So basically, the idea is we're going to be taking these thrones about as quick as we can. This one's going to be next turn, and I think we'll. Anything you want to say?
No, I think it's just taking thrones for a couple of turns, so we might as well take a look at these battles.
And how long till this fort goes up? Oh, this fort will be going up next turn, and we're not building a temple yet. That may be a mistake. I think we might cancel recruitment or something. Or we're building a temple here. That seems the wrong order. We must switch this. This can't be. We must temple this next turn.
No, because I think we wanted to get a Buddha.
Oh, really? Okay.
Well, let's see what we...
We'll see. Because having a temple here and a lab here doesn't make a ton of sense.
That is true.
Okay, so that's turn 12. We'll go to turn 13. We've got another quill. We got a quill last turn, so I think we're up to 2 quills now. And here they are. And our research is... I mean, we're basically pulling out of... I mean, it's like a... Look at this. We're taking off so much. I've actually never seen that. It's hot. Look how high it is. It's like we're cruising. It's like we've already finished research. It's flat. And it's at the top because this is all the research we got from starting with Magic 3. Or Magic 2 or whatever.
Exactly. That's really funny.
All right, well, it's humming along now. Last turn, I think we only had 1 or 2 dudes researching. Now we have 2 with 2 quills, so... we got these guys headed in here. We put them in a line. Here you can see the sweaty little thing we're doing. This guy's got 2 hit points left. He's going to cast Blood Heal and then Sabbath Slave. And this guy's going to do Sabbath Master and then Power of the Reborn King. And then over here, we're going to be hitting this throne as well this turn. So we're hitting 2 thrones in 1 turn. That's kind of spicy. And here we're doing something pretty similar. We've got 2 Sabbath Slaves and then a Sabbath Master and Power of the Reborn King.
Yeah. And we did, in fact, make the temple and the lab like that. I think we are recruiting...
We did.
Right?
No, we're too poor. We're just...
It didn't matter.
It's embarrassing.
Because we couldn't afford to build anything anyway.
Shame on us.
Yep.
Shame. All right, well,
Makes sense.
nobody saw that. We're building a temple this turn, though. Basically, we just killed 1 Raktapata, is what happened. We voluntarily suicided 1 for 70 gold.
Which we didn't have anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, that being said, it might not actually be that bad, because we only had 1 mage here. So
he had to build.
He had to build both for it to be out by the time this thing finishes. So it's probably not that bad. Okay.
Okay, let's watch these.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Turn 14. All right, found a magic site, Lilium Vale. It's a 1 death gem site. Very, very much needed. We're pinging.
This is a ping of the other
Right, this is the northeastern throne near Gripazon.
And unfortunately,
Oh, let's take a look at it.
throne has a bajillion like samurai
Yeah.
long swords.
They hit pretty hard.
I mean, we can repel them, but
And they've got really high attack. So,
yeah.
and pretty good defense. So these are pretty good. I mean, we'll be able to mulch them, but not for free.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll have to get out our wallet and pay a little bit.
And it looks like we only do one of the throne battles this turn. I guess we.
I think we chickened out on one.
Yeah.
I think this is our cripple squad. We've accumulated, as you can see, a lot of cripples now. Yeah.
It is a cripple squad, yeah.
All right, so they make a small fire elemental and then a big fire elemental, a little earth elemental, some more swarm casting, more imp casting. So they've done a lot of summons. And have we done... Okay, we've cast Power of the Reborn King, and let's take a look at these guys under this. They're combat speed 15, so they're almost as fast as Cav. 17 attack with 26 damage. Woo! Fire and cold resistance. Woo! The archers are kind of lighting our Churgeons up. And fortunately, we do have in our Bless fire resistance, but it's only 5. But we have magic weapons too, so we'll be able to kill this fire elemental reasonably quick, and we won't get murdered by like the fire shield so much, though maybe a little bit.
We'll take a bit of damage.
Yeah.
Nothing.
It takes the edge off. And he makes another fire elemental before we come in and smack them in the face. I don't think we got any of the items, which is a little upsetting. I think one of these guys had one. Oh, I guess you can't see it when they're dead. Let me check real quick. Because we actually... Okay, he had a sword. I think this guy had... Oh. Maybe it was a different one. Yeah. And then we got a ton of events. What do you want to bet they're all bad? Unrest 5. Unrest 5. Okay, this is Rebirth. It's not a real event. False Prophet. I don't actually know. We haven't gotten this out, Sakane.
No.
Shit. We need to go do this. We're like way ahead in the game.
Right. Note to self.
Okay. God damn it. Okay. -5 defense.
-5.
And oh, we got one good one. Okay.
All right. So actually, this is a net positive, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Oh no, but the real luck is what's the actual throne that we found?
So this bad luck. Oh, this is okay. Let's talk about the turn. So we got Throne of Bureaucracy. What are your thoughts on this, Zach?
I mean, I think this is fantastic for us. Now, whether we take it immediately, I don't know, but you know, part of our strategy, and it's kind of a secret part of our strategy, or something we're trying to downplay, is our Dominion push and our blood sacrificing potential. And Dominion conflict bonus +1 is so strong.
So strong. Okay, it's pretty strong.
It's very strong because there's no way to like buff that, right? Like that's just like nobody else. You can't match that, right? There's nothing your opponent can do to like match your.
Well,
bonus.
Let's talk about it a little bit. So what it basically does. I don't know how familiar. I know you're pretty familiar because you and I have had Dominion pushing battles.
Yeah.
For that have lasted long periods of time. So I know you know a lot of. I don't even know every single little detail, and I might not know every little detail about how it works. But when you're when a temple check gets generated, it comes, this is more for the viewers, I know you know this stuff. It starts wherever the temple check happens, so a lot of times like at a temple, and then it will either stay in the province, or if the province is full of candles, the more full it is, the more likely it is to go somewhere else, up to your dominion strength. So anyway, it percolates out, and then eventually, if it lands here, it may stay here and increase your candle. But it may continue percolating until it runs into an enemy province. And when it runs into an enemy province, it's going to be like, okay, we're going to have a battle over whether this temple check that has percolated over here is going to land and reduce your candles by 1 or not. And that is when your dominion strength is relevant. So if we're like, let's say this candle landed here where I have a friendly candle. The fact that we're Dom strength 9 or something doesn't matter. The temple check, I think, just lands here and we get a candle. Done. Right? But it's when it comes into enemy dominion that it matters. And there basically becomes a fight. And the fight is between the number of candles that they have in that province and between our temple, our Dom strength. And we have very high Dom strength. It's been a long time since I started a game with 9 Dom strength at the start. And as soon as we get 1 fort, we're going to be at 10. Now,
you mean
1 temple.
Yeah.
Or 1
2 more.
Okay, I'm actually thinking where we are in the current game. Sorry. Yeah. So once we get 5 temples total, this will jump up to 5. I mean, not to 5. I can't talk. This will jump up to 10. Now, 10 is the maximum. The Dom strength is going to affect how many candles will like land in a single friendly province. So 10 will increase this up to like you can have 10 candles now in this province. But it goes higher. It goes all the way up to 20. Before 20, and this is where we're finally getting back into the Dominion conflict. At 20, it caps. You can't go higher than 20. But Dominion conflict bonus is essentially just +1 Dominion strength for that candle bump calculation, as I understand it. So it means our max really becomes 21. So it's going to be higher than anybody else's. But I don't think it's any different than being like, if we were to have 1 less Dom strength, let's say our god dies or something. I don't think it's any different. So then,
well, right, but so the reason it's so unique is because it's the only way to get above 20.
Right. Yeah. But we're going to be a ways before we get to. If we get 20, we probably won. We're going to win before then.
Fair enough.
But it definitely synergizes with our strategy because a big part of our strategy is Dom push, and this definitely helps with that.
Also, mathematically, even though this costs 100 gold per turn, order +1 just ends up being. I remember doing the math on this turn, and it basically is equivalent, like it's about 100 gold. So right now our scales are, I think we have turmoil or whatever, right? So bumping up to order would give us about 100 gold per turn.
We actually probably should claim this. We haven't claimed it yet in our current turn. Some of us going back through recording these are like, shit, we
talked about
it.
We decided not to immediately. Also, like, our scales aren't spread everywhere.
Right.
So, but yeah, at this point, it is basically kind of worth it.
There's another caveat here, which is this -100 gold doesn't apply to your national income. It applies to the province. And provinces can't have a negative income. So we're only going to lose 40. So we actually really should claim it then, I think. And the other thing is this thing just blasts out Dominion.
Yeah, it's Prince Dominion 5.
Yeah.
Very high.
So we probably should claim it, though it may antagonize Mammon if our Dominion starts spreading over here too much. But that's something to think about. A big question is, where do we put our forts? And so far, we've chosen to put all of our forts on this side, and we have no forts over here on this side, even started, right?
Yeah.
So
even a few turns into the future. But
You're
it's
right.
just because the provinces are such garbage.
yeah, they're really
It's not
bad.
worth supporting.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes, but I think this one we probably do want to important lab and temple and
I
stuff.
mean, we do for sure eventually
Yeah.
need to afford it.
So
But
oh, go ahead.
well, I was gonna say yeah, but for strategic reasons and for quality of the throne reasons in the future.
Yeah.
This is minor spoilers, but we're gonna end up porting the other two thrones first.
Yeah.
So
Well, this is a bad throne, which we're about to go take. We're sending in this goon squad.
why don't we take a look at that?
Yeah, let's take a look. I think we already talked about this, right?
Yeah,
Same
talked-
thing. Yeah.
We just waited a turn so we could get more troops there. And this guy's coming back to pick dudes up, and he's gonna go northeast after.
Right. Yeah, the total losses here were pretty minor. We only lost 2 Trojans, so
Yeah.
they're gonna rally off towards the next throne. All right, so turn 15. And by the way, it's also probably a good time to mention GC has been recording this, or I think he will be. But he also did a Conquest of Elysium stream, and at the end of it, he goes through and reviews all the nations in here. So I'm gonna forget to put it in the description, but if one of y'all ping me, then I'll probably go dig up where that clip is and put it in the description, and y'all can go watch that because it's pretty funny.
Oh, I haven't watched that.
Oh yeah, it's very good. You should check it out.
I'll go check it out for sure.
Okay.
Okay, so we witnessed some battles.
So here we finally get to scout Mammons Bless. These guys are so scary. So he's got 2 Thaumaturgs. So he's got basically the same bless we do. Attack 2, magic weapons, shock 10, fire resistance 10, defense 2, undying 6, blood surge and larger. If we
He's a bit unsure about the defense. Now,
Yeah.
he also has a bunch of other sacreds, though. It's not just the chuds, right?
Yeah, he's gonna have so many sacreds, it's unbelievable. I mean, their mid-game power is so much higher than ours.
Yeah. And the boars, the Marverni boars.
I was talking with them too, and they were saying their mid-game power is a lot higher than ours. And I was like, it's not that much higher. I was kind of lying a little bit because it is a lot higher. I mean, their late game is so good too, though. Like, they're going to be making these guys, and every turn, especially, there's a lot of synergy in this build. I really like it. So these are low resource, therefore you can potentially have, like us, very high dominion and get a lot of them. And that high dominion is very useful for having an Anqui. Why, you may ask? Well, because they like in Dom Strength 10, they're going to be making like 4 or 5 beast bats a turn.
Yes. Also, incidentally, the same is true for the Marverni boars. They're also
Right.
summoners.
And so they're going to be, making a ton of boars, which is the other national spell they have. And then the final thing they can do is Seir. But even without the Seir, the amount of free spawn sacreds they're going to have is absolutely mind-blowing. It's... Yeah, I, in some ways I think there's a better draft than us, but I don't know.
Yeah, but they don't have Shaytan.
They don't have Shaytan.
They don't have Shaytan.
And they don't have... None of their units are stealthy.
The Pan is.
Oh, okay, yeah. But he can't... Oh, no, he could. Oh, no, the units aren't stealthy.
Oh, no, right.
So, like, even these guys are stealthy, these guys are stealthy, these guys are stealthy. So they have a lot of stealthy commanders. Not these guys, who they're probably is gonna be the majority of their mage core.
Right. But if they're moving troops around, it's going to be on a Pan, probably.
Right, but they would have to ditch the troops to stealth. And what that means is if they can't stealth, or if they're not stealthy, we're going to yoink them with Shaytan. So... now that said, there's counters to all of this. They can do a ton of scouts, but if we really get our blood economy roaring, which I think we probably could, we can get a lot of Shaytan.
They're only 70.
They're only 73. Like, if we have 150 Blood Slaves a turn, we get 2 Shaytan a turn.
That really adds up.
Yeah, we can...
Because you don't lose them, really, right?
Not...
Like, it's possible.
Yeah, not often.
Not often.
And, you know, like, 10 or 12 Shaytan can clear a fort out of mages. It's kind of oppressive, actually.
And to be honest, like, even just getting like 10 thaumaturgs a turn is like crippling, right? Because they are, yes, they're going to have free spawn sacred, but they're also reanimating and it's like a astral death communion with the holy, the banishment, right? Like, that's going to be a big part of, you know, their power,
right?
And just stripping them of all those thaumaturgs is actually valid, right?
Mm-hmm. And
we've been,
he's going to be mostly thaumaturgs.
Mm-hmm. We were thinking about one of the challenges, which was that because they have so many astral mages, we can't really use our royal malleus against them because they can get magic dueled. Now, in our thinking about this, we kind of realized that actually we probably don't need to use the royal malleus because all the things we were hoping to do with them in the mid game, obviously in the late game, like the mass enslave, that's special to the royal malleus, but like the sort of turn 1 evocations like earthquakes and, you know, wrathful skies and things like that, we just realized that actually we can do that with Buddhas and with Shaytans and stuff like that, just by forging some items and things like that. So we don't actually need to use a royal malleus against the astral mages, but if we do have a war with them in the mid game where we have Shaytans and then we get a bunch of thaumaturgs, first of all, now we can bring thaumaturgs to the fight, so that protects us against magic duel. But like in a long war against them, they just won't have any thaumaturgs left, right? Like because everything else is stealthy, we'll just be stealing them. So yeah, anyways, that's like,
I think the Shaytan, like, we in the mid game, our defense, our strategy, we have so many things that come online later, but like we have to get to this point. And I think we were talking about this because like right now we have peace with these guys in a non-aggression pact, but most non-aggression pacts to last need to be built on like actual military mutual deterrence. Like we need to, in our head at least, be confident we could fight them at all stages in the game. And given how strong they scale with all those sacreds, it's going to be hard. But I think Shaytan are the ticket.
For sure.
But we have to get there. And we don't... If you think about it, all the things we have to do to get there, there's so many things we have to do to get there. We have to get a ton of forts up so we can start spamming our little priest mages out. We need to get construction 4 and then 6 so that we can do the construction 4 blood hunting items and the reanimation items. Because if we don't have enough long dead, we're just going to get rushed down. And then we have to get to, you know... So once we hit construction 4, it's like, great, we have blood hunting stuff and reanimation stuff. And our mages are going to like want to go do that. But it's like, hey, no, we also have to research and get to construction 6 pretty quick. Because then we're going to have access to not only pretty good items for our Melquarts, but importantly, lanterns, which we can forge for a discount.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's going to be pretty important. But yeah, it's going to be like a lot to manage. And really what it is we need a ton of forts. And I think 2 seconds, we got really screwed by low starting income. Because a lot of, you know, how we even talked about this, I think in the first episode, is like our cap is going to take up a certain amount of gold to turn. And then everything else from that basically is going to get turned into forts. And our forts are not very, we can hardly even spend money in forts. Like it's basically just 80 gold a turn for a cheap mage. So we can have so many forts, but we need a lot of extra money. We're going to have higher infrastructure costs than basically any other nation. So It kind of really sucks that we were poor. Born poor.
Yeah, I mean.
Oh, wait, did we
you
watch
could
this?
say- I think we did.
Did we?
Maybe we did.
No, we didn't. Did we? I don't think we did.
No.
No, because we haven't talked about the Throne of Misfortune yet, which is this throne.
Which is what this throne turns out to be.
Oh, and we also brought a lot of... So some of these guys are Sabbathed up, but we also have a fair number that aren't in the Sabbath, and their job is to just banish the long dead to keep them from piling up too high. And this is a pretty good formation. You know, we've got pretty good surface area. There aren't too many Garms. There's maybe 4 or 5 that aren't swinging, but that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Be interesting to see how many kills the Octopoda got. Yeah, and we just brought Overwhelming Force. And we took it. So we only lost 2 Churgeons. How many did the... Oh, they only got 3 kills. That's not very many. The Banishment didn't really do very much.
Yeah, and it's not as if weakening the skeletons was relevant, because the Shurchens are still going to one-shot.
Right. But all in all, pretty clean. We lost a bit of long dead chaff. But...
Yep.
And we got the Throne of Misfortune.
And although it does give us 4 astral per turn, we already have Misfortune 2.
Yeah, Misfortune 3 is brutal.
Really bad.
I think we claim this sack once we have... the only things I'm really worried about are like the demons that start coming with Misfortune 3. Well, the other... Okay, well, no, let's think about it. The other thing is we lose any chance of getting a hero. Right now we've got a 1% chance of turn, and our heroes are really good.
Honestly, I don't know that 4 astral per turn is worth Misfortune.
Ever? Yeah.
Like, it's only 4. I mean...
Only 4. We have no Astral, though.
That's true, but like...
Or 1 per turn. Well, we haven't sight searched Astral either. We kind of... And this is back to our current game. We kind of need to...
Well, I think we're finally...
Yeah.
At the current turn, we're kind of at the time where we can get a few guys out to sight search.
Yeah, it might be time to get a Malakwi or 2. But the thing is, a Malakwi is like a whole fort, and we need forts so bad. And their upkeep is huge, too. So it's not only like a fort, it's a fort that destroys other forts the longer it lives. I mean, it's so expensive. They're so expensive. But it's the nice thing about this is it's a high population.
It's a decent
Yeah.
balance.
So that's actually the best thing about this. And there's probably going to be more magic sites here than you would expect from a farmland. So yeah, we're moving up more dudes to come over here and take this throne. And we'll be pretty happy if we get 3 thrones. Now it's 6 to win. So if we get 4, people are going to start getting very edgy. And combined with... I wonder, is there a throne that normally spawns underwater? I don't see any. I wonder what throne this is. Combined with the fact that we're like a huge late game threat... I wouldn't be... If we take too many... Oh, we're already kind of taking a lot of thrones. But if we take too many, we could get too much heat. Oh, we see the Vineland Bless here. So he's expanding with condors. This means... Wait, does he... How would he summon these? Do you think he did it with his god? Let's take a look. The Cid might be able to summon it. Is it just Air 2? Oh, these guys can be Air 3. You get more the higher air path you are. I'm pretty sure you can summon them with an Air 3. He's probably getting the Midian sorcerers in his cap and using them to get some. But condors are so good. So he casts Divine Blessing. His bless is magic weapons, shock resistance, poison resistance, fire resistance, defense skill, blood surge, dark vision, affliction. Affliction resistance is a very weird choice.
Yeah, we're really not sure what that's about.
Yeah, I can't really figure that out at all. Because, like, the Sid Lords who are going to thug... I mean, Van Heers kind of can get afflicted. I don't think that's a... I don't support that really at all.
And he has a lot of poison resistance, so he went pretty high in nature.
Yeah. Was it 15? I mean, he has Dryads, too. So the Dryads can do Foul Vapors, which we don't care about really at all. Because we have 5 poison resistance, which is going to be fine on Raktapada.
So, see, poison resistance 15, that's 3 nature, right?
Yeah, he could have done larger.
And then affliction is
4.
5?
I think it's 4. It might be 5. But, like, what do you... Like, the thing... I don't know. I think affliction resistance is interesting on, like, super combatants and stuff. I guess the elves, like the Sid Lords, if they're mist-formed, they can take a lot of 1 damage hits. And a lot of low damage hits are actually kind of... You're kind of likely to get an affliction. So it would maybe... But, I mean, that's so niche to me. I don't know. I'd much rather have, like, bonus strength or larger or something to make Van Heers go blend stuff faster. Anyway. I mean, otherwise, though, it's a very standard bless, right? And it seems like it's designed mostly for thugs. Because...
Yeah, this isn't like a Van Heer Bless.
No.
Right?
Yeah, this is mostly for thugs. And, I mean, the Van Heers are going to be nice with it because he doesn't have to worry about... You know, he's going to have magic weapons and... you know, he's not going to have to worry about a lot of the ways Van Heers normally die from elemental damage. But...
I mean, okay, is there a thing like... Is there a spell that causes afflictions that you would now be comfortable casting, like bone grinding or something?
Not really.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to justify the affliction resistance here.
I can't think of anything. I think it's... Yeah, I can't really think of anything. I mean, it's okay on super combatants and stuff. It's not as good as regeneration, though, and regeneration does so much more. I think it gives you, like, at least as much affliction resistance as affliction resistance does. And then on top of that, it makes you way harder to kill. But... And the Sid Lords, they have nature, so with the gem, they can do personal regen. But, I mean, maybe that's the idea, is give these guys a gem, let them do personal regen, and with affliction resistance... And, because he's gonna... I mean, some of it, you have to look at how the nation all kind of fits together. And he's got master smiths, so they're going to be having the cheapest elf thugs that are just being printed by the dozen.
True.
And so maybe it's just like, they're going to be like super high protection. They're going to be just tanking things. And, yeah. Maybe he's thinking it. I don't know. Even then, like, reinvigoration's better. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's their bless. It's not bad. Affliction resistance is the only thing I kind of have qualms with. Otherwise, it's a pretty standard elf thug bless. But yeah, they've taken all their things now. That we hear some... So there's a few things that I think it might be worth talking about for diplomacy before we go to the next one. Because we're getting kind of close to our current turn.
Yeah.
One of the things is that... So both us and this neighbor, Sitalis, have noticed that this guy's really weak. And we have naps with our 3 other neighbors. We don't have a nap in our south. And we're thinking like, hey, maybe we go munch these guys. So we're moving a bunch of guys to our border. And these guys already had the same thought. They're going to go attack them. What's interesting is these guys apparently have also noticed that these guys are weak. And I think they're already, as of this turn, attacking them with mostly mercenaries. The guys playing this, by the way, it's RCK and Novell. And RCK's got a YouTube channel. I hope he puts his perspective up. But that being said, he asked me for a non-aggression pact, and I thought from whatever reason, he asked me like I think right about the time as we saw. I thought he was these guys. I thought he was the TNG people, flag people. I think this is El Shu. But I don't know for whatever reason, I thought this was them, and I was like, sure, we can have a nap. And then he was like, and I was like, wait, but which nation are you? And he's like, oh, I'm to your south. And I was like, oh, wait.
Yeah, that's awkward.
I was like, no, actually, I said, look, you're getting invaded by these guys and these guys. I don't know if these guys had already attacked, but they're about to. And I also knew they were struggling. And so I was like, look, we don't have like an immediate plan to attack you, but I don't want to have a non-aggression pact get in the way of vulturing, and I'm not really worried about you attacking us, especially while you're getting attacked by 2 of your neighbors. So, sorry, I can't do a non-aggression pact right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Because a non-aggression pact would be completely one-sided in terms of who it benefits. Because we have non-aggression pacts with 3 of our neighbors. He's fighting 2 people right now.
Mm-hmm.
And we have, if he kills like a huge army of both of these guys, and he's looking very fearsome, and like this would be a very hard war for us, because he can make, like, if he has a battle report where he's got like hundreds of Retarii or something.
That's not something we want to go into with our Garm on.
Yeah.
Right? If we're going in with skeletons. Sure.
Yeah, we'd be like hard pass. Hard pass. Yeah. But anyway, we have flexibility now. We get to kind of see what's going to happen and then maybe go in and steal some provinces. But the plan right now is to steal some provinces. Anything you want to add?
No, I think that's about it. So in the next turns and the next episodes, I guess we'll show off the last throne battle to the northeast, and then it'll be sort of what we can get done to the south.
Right. And yeah, we've got some exciting stuff coming up. I'm kind of looking forward to getting to it.
Sure. And also, as we kind of struggle to get our fort and mage recruitment going.
Yeah.
Because now, actually, if you look at our research, we've actually done a bit of research.
Yeah. We're going to have construction 2 this turn. And then we're not stopping till we hit construction 4.
Oh, baby.
Oh, baby.
Turn 30, construction 4, here we come.
Is it that bad? What turn is it?
I don't think
15, okay.
turn 20, whatever.
Yeah. That's not great. No, we're not setting any like land speed records for research.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, and I guess minor thing, but yeah, we are recruiting some of the little the brains in jars to make it easier to do things like Power of the Reborn.
Yeah.
Right?
We'll be able to use them to do other really cool things. Like they actually go really well with blood because we can like keep resetting all the fatigue on them. Yep. And then off path casting for blood, if they don't have any blood slaves left, they won't really burn them out if we've reset the fatigue. They'll just do like smite spam probably.
Exactly. So
we can use these guys. Like if we have 4 of these dudes, we could use that to make like 8 of these dudes act like blood 3 mages and drop imps while constantly resetting the fatigue on these guys. And, I mean, it could be just an ungodly number of stuff. I mean, we could do it also with these guys as slaves, but it basically means we could have more masters. So.
Yeah, definitely a good pickup.
And we don't have to waste any slaves putting them into a communion, because right now most of our communions are slave fueled.
Well, that's the thing, yeah. So I think it's definitely was definitely a worthwhile pick in our draft.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. We'll see you next time.
All right, take care, everyone.